Should be live.
Disable everyone except the hero. 100 yes, we just quit everyone. You can hear, okay. Yeah, that's heavy. All the five. Disable just disable all the stuff. Yeah. And they can only have 2 players. Do you think you could get a team to agree to a transfer to or something? Some of these guys play, yeah. Yeah. Playing the right or Ash duel for point. Ash duel for point.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the LCBI Bison's Week 6 game. We're playing the NTO Overwatch team. Looks like I'm not exactly sure the location of this school.
It looks like
Another
they are from a school called George H.W. Bush New Tech from Odessa, Texas.
Okay, so from Texas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They are ranked 19th. They have a record of 3 wins, 2 losses. We are ranked 24th and also have a record of 3 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah, looking forward to another good game. Still been chatting about how the game last week went. A really close match. The Blisons came up on the losing end of it, but put in a lot of effort, and there was a lot of renewed effort and practice this week too. So, looking for a good match today. Excited to see how the team comes out of the gate. Think that they're definitely motivated. So, just waiting for the other team to kind of get sorted out here, and we're going to be on our way. It looks like our starting 5. We've got Dreamin' Bacon, C Play Game, Banana Josh, Sky King, and Golden Shadow taking the competitive field to start the game today. So 4 grade 12 students and a grade 10 student. Looking forward to seeing how they put their practice into play here this afternoon. We're starting to get near the end of the season. This was our third last regular season match of the year, so teams are already starting to watch those standings, get ready for playoffs, and see where we're at. So, and it looks like the game is about to launch here. So, first map is Antarctic Peninsula, a control map. So we're going to be fighting for position in a control area in the center of the map, and then you have to hold that to the 100%. So you'll see in the top of your screen 2 percentages, one for the Bisons and one for the OT team, and we'll be fighting for that control. It's going to be a best of 3 in this game mode, so there'll be a minimum of 2 maps. So lots of chance to see the strategies evolve as they kind of figure out the team they're playing against.
It looks like Dream and Bacon and C-Play Games are starting out as the teams for this game. King has shifted to healer along with Banana Josh, and then we'll have Golden Shadow playing as this lineup. So we'll probably see some shifts throughout the game depending on how this team is laid out. So we'll see how well that goes.
We see the Bisons making a move into position here, contesting that point. So this is the control point that they'll be fighting over. We'll see how the Bisons normally play a pretty aggressive style here. We'll see if they if that holds up. Looks like they're focused on taking the top area there, gain that control. They've been pushed back a little bit, and a little bit of control to the opposition right now. But we'll see if they're able to fight their way back on here. So. See the Bisons down 1 and OT down 1.
It looks like they have mostly pushed them out though, and taken point. Looks like the opposing team was slowly starting to respawn, but they backed out now because they were down a few. So the reference LCBI is blue and OT from Texas are red. Clear screen.
Now you can see the Bisons, so they have flipped the point. They've got some control. Their team's back in order, and you can see they're setting up their defensive strategy now, preparing for the team to make their push. So. And you can see how that strategy has really worked for the Bisons. They were able to attack in multiple directions and make a couple of picks as the other team tried to focus in on them, but couldn't quite pull it off. So well done by the Bisons in their first defense of the point there. Didn't quite get a team wipe, but did manage to definitely delay them, build some alt charge. So we got 4 alts now, which is going to be really beneficial for the Bisons as this defense continues to progress for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Because ultimate abilities can definitely flip a game on its head. We've seen that multiple times in just practice and in our games as well.
You can see the opposition really trying to force that high ground, but good reaction there by the Bisons to force them back. So we see an ultimate ability there by one of the opposition players. The Bisons handled it really well. Didn't give up a lot of space and managed to keep control of the point. So the Bisons now have used a couple ultimate abilities. They've got 2 left, but managed to get that point. Well done by the Bisons, really pushing that defense up and forward. That aggressive playstyle paid off for them here. What did you see that you liked about that, Caleb? That seemed to go pretty much according to the Bison's game plan there.
Yeah, it did for sure. We didn't get disorganized that for sure. Sometimes when we see something that we don't like, everything just like everyone just goes their own way. It doesn't always work, but we just kept ourselves collected. Communication was key. I heard some good communication with our ultimate abilities and where the so yeah, that game plan definitely worked out for them, and then we'll see if it works out for them this slightly different version of Antarctic Peninsula.
Yeah, right on. No, it's good. You can see the Bisons really rush to the point quickly, wanting to make sure they've got a hold on things. Not seeing a lot of change from the opposition on their heroes, but they got a couple of quick picks that their tank got some early damage on some of our squishier players, and definitely took it to the Bisons there in this first fight. So we'll see how the Bisons can react now.
I think they're just waiting to get regrouped, whole team together, and then OT. Bit rich to see if they can push.
So you see the Bison's trying to push in, but that tank is charged up and doing a lot of damage. So they're going to have to think through how this is going to go for sure.
Looks like we had Sky King have a switch in characters. The initial character wasn't quite working out for them. Not enough healing output to their liking, so they'll switch off and get more healing output to try and push the opposition off the point. Get some more chaos.
And you see the ultimate there by the opposition tank really did a lot of damage there against the Bisons. They're really struggling to deal with that tank and get focused. The opposition team is definitely supporting that tank very, very strongly. So, they're keeping a lot of health on that tank, and that's a tank that can do a lot of damage when they get charged up. So,
pressure it is the key. They're keeping pressure on Bison, so we need to regroup ourselves, regroup our minds, regroup our players, and hopefully we can. Oh, sound like they're down one, but hopefully we can get regrouped and do a push in. Looks like that's exactly what they're doing now. Taking a push in. Looks like there's some
good job by the Bisons there on. Yeah, they've pushed in. They've definitely made an effort and used their ults effectively. So that was really well done by the Bisons. They definitely didn't have any extra time there. They kind of had to make that push. They still have a couple of ults, so but I have a feeling we're going to see a really strong return here by the opposition team. So
because they're at 99%, so we unfortunately cannot lose another team fight, or else we'll be theirs and we'll have to go to the third point. I mean that can be good and bad, because it shows that we are both pretty even. Push it out to third battle, but I'll just discouraged that we lost the point.
You can see, yeah, the Bison's playing some really good angles here, able to put a lot of damage on the opposition team as they try to force their way in and really return to being the aggressor here. So that was some really good angles being played by the Bisons. Like I said, minimizing the amount of damage they could take while giving themselves an angle to force damage on the opposition there. So well done on that defensive play.
Well, we also like to play very mobile characters, which can work in our favor to get in and out of the fight really fast. So that's a good thing. But sometimes the enhanced movement doesn't always work in. But so far in this first game, looks like it is, and we might end up getting this point. If it's held for another 25%.
Yep, Bison's, the opposition team tried to take a different entrance there. You got to sometimes look at those differences. But good job on the Bisons for managing that as well.
The Bisons had 5 ultimate abilities and now are just basically dumping them on the opposition team to try and hold the point for this last percentage point.
You can see the opposition also using their ultimate abilities, but Bisons did a great job in maximizing their ultimate abilities there and holding that point. So big turnaround there, 100 to 99. That gives us victory in the game mode. Good job on the Bisons for not giving up on that. That was well played.
Yes, that was very well played. They did get down in that second game early, but they didn't let that get to them. They came back, took the W in that one.
So, Caleb, you want to talk to the viewers about our next game mode here?
Yeah, for sure. So our next game mode is hybrid. So it's similar to control, but has another element to it. So hybrid is game mode, which starts with an assault capture point that we saw in the first game mode, then continues with an escort objective, little floating car. And once the attacking team captures the initial point, then both teams spawn locations around. Then the payload is then unlocked, and players must escort the payload through. Overtime will be triggered if time runs out while the payload or capture point the attacking team. So we'll just wait on the opposition to communicate their choice of then we'll be on into the second game.
So what you see here is the opposition team, because they lost, they get to choose the map. So there is a group of maps that they get to choose from. So yeah, they get to pick the map. The Bisons will have an opportunity here to get prepared as the map is chosen. Looks like they're subbing a player in on the opposition team, so we'll see what impact that has.
Yeah, so this map we don't usually see very often in our games. I'm not sure what the reasoning is about why maybe teams or they don't prefer it. So this will be interesting to see if they can adapt to this map pretty and up our aggressive playstyle.
Yeah, Eichenwald is a map you see a lot in if you're playing just competitive play online. But yeah, it's not one that we see often in this game mode, and not one that the Bison spend a ton of time practicing. They've played it a lot. Obviously, they play a lot of competitive, but not a lot in the league match. We got the Bisons on defense here first, so.
Looks like they haven't changed their roles either. It looks like they've changed their characters a little bit. The roles haven't changed, so they figured that it's working for them. But if it doesn't end up working for them, or the opposition team has also changed their strategy, then they might have to switch to adapt to what they're doing.
Must be fun at parties.
Yeah, nice to see. So in that one, the tank we were playing against was actually one of the direct counters to our own tank. We obviously did really well playing there and managing that, but yeah, definitely a change in the tank here. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, we see opposition tank here changed as well. You can see the opposition team being really aggressive here and trying to force their way through this choke point. They did, but at kind of a cost. They put themselves into an unfortunate position, and the Bisons were able to get a couple of knocks there. Now the Bisons are down one of our healers. Banana Josh got knocked out, but he does have a relatively mobile character, so hopefully he'll get back into position quickly and we'll be able to get back in the fight here. So again, you can see the Bison's really trying to hold this choke point. And there we go, Banana Josh back with the save.
Looks like we're doing pretty good so far. But yeah, the opposition tank it is really quite a point and shoot character. So a lot of damage can be output there with that tank, but it can also not be great if you don't play him right, because if he's healed or he just plays up too far, then he can be knocked out pretty fast. So there are pros and cons to all characters. That just some of that character specifically.
Yep. Good on the Bison. So we're getting to the point in the match where Bisons have 5 ultimate abilities built up now. Likely we're going to see some of those used here in this next team fight, and likely the opposition also will have some ult charge built. So we'll see how that plays out. And there we go. We see one of the ultimate abilities used.
And there's like a couple too.
Yeah, and a couple on the opposition team, and that worked out really well actually in the opposition favor. So you can see they basically got the team wipe there, and they'll probably take the point. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, almost paid for getting a little over aggressive there on the chase, but Bison still have 4 ultimate abilities, so they only used 1, and we'll see how this goes now. So you can see the clock in the top there increased once they captured that control point. There is 1 checkpoint on this map. The clock will increase if they get it to that checkpoint as well. So the Bison's trying to basically make them pay for every meter that they push that cart and pay for all that time if possible. So you can see the Bison spread out and really trying to divide the attentions. Oh, great ultimate ability.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, well played, well played. C-play game with a great ultimate ability there. Really changed that fight. And now you'll see they have to respawn. It's going to kill some of that clock for the Bisons. And you can see the Bisons reshifting, setting up, trying to make sure they're ready for when they come out again. The team opposition team will obviously be, talking and looking for options, trying to decide what they feel they can do, and make those adjustments as well. So, but Bison still with 3 ultimates, and Golden Shadow has almost got their ultimate ability back. Oh, you can see ultimate ability by the opposition team really targeting Dream and Bacon there, and did pick one of our healers. So Bison's down 2 right now. Dream and Bacon got a pick there up on the Bastion, but we're definitely still down. And again, Bison's still with 2 ultimate abilities. And definitely, the team is pushing the cart here, making good progress. Bison's really trying to make them pay for that. Dream and Bacon, good job. He's a very mobile character, taking advantage of that mobility and changing his angles and really trying to force the opposition team to come find him. And the more that they do that, the less they're worried about the cart. So they did get the cart to the checkpoint. You heard the game just there. So that clock has increased. That will move the spawn point for the opposition team, so they'll get a little bit of a closer spawn point now. But the Bison's continuing to delay and fight and focus on this opposition team. So again, still 2 ultimate abilities that we've got here. So we'll see how those come into use. So
heard some communication here back at school that the team needs to regroup. So that means that they're kind of frustrated playing their own thing earlier. So what they want to do is get regrouped and actually play as a team. And looks like I think the ultimate ability from the killers killed them off. And that's
a good job by the opposition there. They really pushed those last 2 checkpoints pretty quickly. So the Bisons are going to have to think that through. So now what happens is the Bisons have a chance to do the exact same, push that cart to the end, and if they do, then there'll be an overtime mode where each team will get another shot with the amount of time left on the clock. So the opposition there with 2 minutes and 7 seconds. We'll see how quickly the Bisons are able to do this.
Looks like we're just about ready to go. We got about 25 seconds until we attack the point. Now, something interesting. Last week in this game mode specifically, it ended in a draw. So both teams managed to, in the first 2 rounds, managed to push it all the way to the end. So we had to go to a 3rd and 4th round, and neither team could push on to the control point. So that was really interesting. We'll see if maybe we can do that again this week, or come out with a win in the extra rounds.
Yeah, I can see the Bisons, dealing with the same choke point that they had to deal with, that they were banning last time. So you can see it's a challenge. It makes the angles very difficult. There's a lot of good angles to put damage on from the defensive side, and not very easy to get through from the offensive perspective. So.
Yeah, it looks like we've had some character switches. Again, there was one last round, and it looks like there's one for this round here. Just to change our strategy, try and output more damage, push them off, and then we get onto the point and end up pushing the cart. Looks like they're still held at this point, though, like we did to them last round. But hopefully we don't sit. Hopefully we aren't held here as long. But we'll see how well this plays out.
You can see the Bisons did make a tank change, and now really focusing on pushing into that point. Looks like they've cost them a player, but they have managed to take the point. So good job on the Bisons. That was a quick push. Good shift in strategy, and
for sure, you saw that ping there by Drew Bacon. That's just indicating where they are, and it looks like he got a pick on another player, so that puts him in a staggered position. That'll help out, hopefully, in the long run, with holding them back from stopping us from pushing the cart. So looks like the opposite team got one pick on our team on the character who June Bacon was playing before. Very mobile and can output a lot of damage through her railgun. So that's a scary character to play against. So they just have to watch that for the next fight and be careful to not expose himself to that player too much.
You can see the Bison's getting a really good push here, and focusing. You can see the player ultimate ability there just kind of missed. So Bisons have to be happy with that, and continuing to push the cart forward here, doing a lot of damage and being aggressive. So.
Looks like their changes so far are working out in their favor as well with aggressive push. Looks like there's a few ultimate abilities being popped here in this fight, but looks like the opposition teams didn't work out quite their way. So LCBI has hit the checkpoint, and we now have an extra 4 minutes and 20 seconds to get to the end.
Now the Bisons are short both their healers. They're hustling back from their spawn. It's a long spawn, but pushing in here without healers can present a problem for sure. So there we see Banana Josh back in the match. He's up close, which is awesome, and looks like the team's back together and ready to go. So.
Looks like we're down our tank. That was a bit of a a lost fight there against the opposition tank, but it sounds like they have no healers, and we're down a few too. And I don't. We might be able to hold this, but I'm hearing calls of out, so we gotta get out and regroup ourselves as best as we can for the next fight.
Yeah, that was probably the right call. The other team's spawn is much closer. They're going to be able to get back quicker, so that was probably the right call to get the team back together and come at this again. So
yeah, but that's good though. They have three minutes left still to push. So the call is good. Give us a bit of a second to regroup, and looks like we're down our tank once again. Looks like they're being quite aggressive in their push, but they're also all quite low. I say everyone is KO'd, and we'll just have to regroup once more. Looks like they're strategizing here on using their ultimate abilities to push in and retake the cart, specifically Banana and Josh's, and then they can push in. Looks like they just did that now, and they were also quite aggressive, the opposition, in their push. So I don't know if that got quite worked in their favor as of yet. We'll see in a second here.
yeah, they took out the tank, and one of the healers forced an ultimate ability out there, got a team kill. So well done on the Bisons.
Yeah,
now they're
well done.
They're going to try and really push this cart as fast as they can.
Yeah, I think they lost a couple players though in that fight, unfortunately. So we'll have to kind of play carefully while also trying to push as we slowly get our players back. For this final push here, we're at 55 meters from the checkpoint, and we have not a lot of distance left.
Oh, very close. They did a good job. They had one healer left, and the tank was kind of playing coy. So well done on the opposition. The Bisons did make a good push there, positive push. So we'll see how they can see if they can finish the job here now.
Yeah, we have 4 ultimate abilities. So the team here in the room is just trying to communicate on when and how to use them, and then we'll see if that'll help us take a final push.
Opposition tank is down, and now we're gonna see the Bisons be real aggressive.
I'm hearing go, so they're going, they're pushing.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, here we go.
So now the Bisons, can they get this push? The opposition's going to be really pushing to get back and stop the cart.
Just the ultimate ability there, just make sure they kind of stay off the point, and looks like there's our push. So there
we go. Well done on the Bison.
Yeah, well done.
Ended up with a minute.
Rounds. Yeah.
Yes, so we're definitely going into the extra rounds here. So, really good match. Obviously, some very even gameplay. One team is definitely not far superior than the other.
Yeah.
The Bisons on the lower end will get the first chance to attack here, and they're going to have to push quick to get onto that. We saw this last week. A minute goes by really quickly in this instance. So
yes, it does for sure. So we'll have to get out as fast as we can and push as hard as we can. Be aggressive, and hopefully we can pull out the win in this one. But a draw will be okay as well. Well, looks like it's only like a minute and a half time difference between them, so it's not. It can be big. That's for sure. Because just a little bit of time in this game definitely seems like a lot of time. So we got about 20 seconds here until the gates are open, and then we'll start. Hopefully, we'll get an aggressive push out, and then we'll push on to the point.
So here we go. The Bison's pushing out, and again, they're going to try and be aggressive and look for an opportunity to push. The other team is going to do everything they can to kind of hold them off.
Yeah, it looks like we're down, and one of our damage players already. kind of playing a bit on his own, and looks like they're pushing us back. And I'm hearing calls for a regroup, but they got to regroup fast. There's only 25 seconds left now, so they really have to push fast.
Yeah, you can see the other team being really aggressive here, trying to do as much damage, make this as hard as they can for the Bisons. But yeah, we're going to have to be really quick here.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of options.
I'm hearing calls to push, so they got to do that.
They got to go. They got 5 seconds
left. Oh, they did not quite get that push. They held them quite well.
Yeah, no, that was really good defense. Good situational awareness by the opposition there, knowing what they had to do. So now they have 2 minutes and 26 seconds to get 1/3 of the control there. So which is not much. There's some different strategies there. One of the things that I think the Bisons will want to be careful of is making sure that there isn't a back cap. So one of us, a stealth type player that manages this to sneak through and capture some of that point.
And we saw that last week though in benefit of us. So yeah, we have to really be careful of that. And there's also in this game it is a big time difference, like I mentioned earlier. So we have to hold it for a little bit longer of a time, and we unfortunately can't win now, but it can also end in a tie if we hold them. So we have to hold them, and hopefully we can work for that tie. And it looks like we've had some character shifts as well, just to try and change the strategy, change the team composition to hopefully hold the point equally as well or better than they did. And here we go. We are in the fight. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and we'll see if they can hold them for that amount of time.
So you can see the other team being very, very aggressive. They did send a back cap, and the team didn't notice. So that's going to pretty much end the match there. There it is. So, yeah, they sent their healer flying through the air just for that quick back cap. And the team didn't notice. So great on the opposition. That's a great strategy to try and sneak someone through and get there. Bisons need to keep their head up though. Like that was really tight, really, really close.
Yeah,
and
for sure
important that they don't get discouraged, because this is a big deal. So moving into the third game mode, Caleb, what can you tell us there?
Yeah. Let's see. So we're moving into Flashpoint. So another capturing a control point type situation, but it was game most released in season 6 of the game, and it has some similarities to Control, but is different in its own right. So each Flashpoint map, they have 5 capture points, hence called Flashpoints, and a team must capture 3 of them to win the game. And their capture speed is much faster than a Control capture point, and then once a team captures a point, the next point will unlock after 40 seconds to give players time to get there. And then the first point to unlock is always in the center of the map, but then all the other points after that may rotate around the locations as long as it hasn't been used, and then team spawns will change as flashpoints are captured and the objective moves around the map. So it's definitely a lot more fast-paced game, so we'll see how well this goes. Hopefully we don't get discouraged and keep it up. And it seems like that back up from the previous game, the Bisons didn't really notice until the very, very end. I heard from it in the room. They're communicating, and then at the very end, they didn't even realize until it was a bit too late. So that was a bit of an error on our part, but we just have to push that past us and move into Flashpoint.
Yeah, Flashpoint is an interesting game mode. It really does put pressure on teams as they have to move from point to point. The communication becomes really key. That you don't necessarily get to fortify a position necessarily in the same way, and so the strategy becomes even more critical as you're moving from one to the next.
Yeah. We've got about 15 seconds left until gates are open, and then we'll get into the game here. We'll just hold on just a second until we're ready to go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anna online.
And here we go. Looks like we've had some character swaps once again, as I've said earlier, to try and combat the opposition strategy. Looks like we've had some players switch roles as well. So Sky King is now playing tank, and so that means Golden Shadow will have switched to heals.
And you can see their tank is a very mobile, aggressive tank. He got into the backline and got an early kill on one of our healers there. So
yeah, we have to get regrouped and try and combat this new strategy and push them up the point. And it doesn't take a lot for the point to be captured, and then we move on to the next. So.
yeah, you can see that already up to 30% there.
Yeah.
But you can see our tank is trying to push on, but again, their tank jumping on our DPS players and really trying to cause some havoc.
Looks like we're down a healer right now at the moment, but looks like Drew Bacon got one kill and is looking at some more.
Yeah, opposition down 2 players right now.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice push.
Looks like there's still one healer left and is knocked out. So now we have the point, and now we all have to get back fast. Our tank is all alone there and with no heals or support at all. And looks like our team is back now. So we just have to hold this point, and then we'll move on to the next.
Enemy in my sight.
So we'll end up being a best of 5 if it comes to it, but what best case scenario, we only play three flashpoints. But that
nice move on the tank by the Bisons there.
Yeah, keeping them off, keeping the pressure on as they did to us in the first game there. Keeping the pressure on is important as it forces players to think faster, maybe gets them even disorganized a little bit from all the chaos that is going on in the game.
This ends now.
You can see the Bisons use an ultimate ability there, and the opposition has used one. It looks like maybe 2 ultimate abilities there.
Like their tank is low or trying to get away from the point, and
there we
go.
That
worked out. Yeah.
So
like
overtime, and the first point is to the Bison. So the next objective is off to the right. You can see it popped up there, and so now this is where it can be difficult. The Bisons need to move in good order as a team, from one spot to the next, and either engage or adjust to the opposition as they are moving as well. So
yeah, and they also don't want to necessarily use ultimate abilities as I mentioned last week. Using 1 or 2 at a time in a fight is good, but using them all sometimes is good, but it can also be bad because then you don't have them for maybe a more critical fight that you need them. So it really depends on the situation. Looks like we're managing our ultimate abilities very well, keeping the pressure on. There's lots of pressure on them, and looks like they are succumbing to that pressure.
Yep, no, it's good. We still have 1 ultimate ability, and various stages of building those ultimate abilities.
Yeah.
So, we'll have some again here before you know it. But good on the Bisons. We saw the opposition make a late switch on their tank there. So now, they've lost the perks that they built. So, that is another part of this game that gives these characters different advantages or disadvantages. And so we're gonna see the Bisons really go toe to toe with that tank. Good job as a team there, and well done. Good strategy. The Bisons
Yeah.
again being aggressive, waiting for the other team to make the first move, and then being aggressive and going after them. So
Now, on the occasion, I was hearing the communication. It's going really well. Dream and Bacon there was being pushed, and I think got KO'd, but they responded to the threat very well and did not succumb to the pressure. And they're also keeping their emotions in check very well. Winning or losing the last game, my apologies, was probably a little rough on them, but they didn't let that. But they're not letting that get to them. And looks like keeping calm and just playing their best is working quite well right now. So see if they will keep this up. And the flashpoint is unlocked now. It looks like the opposition did pop an ultimate ability, and I don't know if that quite. I don't know if that. Looks like it's really mixed. Looks like I'm hearing out or die, so we have to regroup or just. Yeah, it looks like we're looking for a regroup here as a few of our team got knocked out, and we just had to get ourselves regrouped as we were a bit far apart.
yeah, no, it's the right call to get regrouped, get refocused, try and get a combined front together and ready to go. You can see we got 4 ultimates built up now, and one more getting close. So we'll see how the Bisons decide to manage that. Oh, you can see that tank came in and did a lot of damage, but paid for it. So that tank change can make a big difference. So we'll see how the Bisons are able to capitalize on that now.
Yeah. Okay. We're having some player KOs here in the initial fight. For this point, we saw Dream and Bacon get sniped by the opposition damage players. So we'll see if they can hold the point here, as the opposition is on 99%. So if we take this point, hold this point, and win it, then that'll be game over. So they just have to hold and keep the pressure on, and don't let pressure get to them.
That was a pretty remarkable point. We did use an ult to do it, but 2 healers and 1 DPS managed to kind of hold the charge of that tank with support. That was impressive by the Bisons. Showed off their skill and to hold that point. That was really, really well done.
Yeah, it looks like we have at least 2 to put into this last fight, so hopefully it'll work in our favor. 2 or 3. Looks like there's 1 used there.
Circuits engaged.
Like I'm hearing calls of backup. Try and keep on the point. Looks like that worked out for them, and looks like we might have point cap if the opposition does not push on in the last.
So our tank came and and his respawn came and did a lot of damage at the top of the stairs there, and that was really good. Bisons were in a good position and did manage to get it. So well done, really well done for the Bisons.
That was a well played game for sure.
Especially after that last round loss, to come back and really reassert some aggression, reset themselves, change a few roles, and get at it. So well done by the Bisons. That was well put together.
Yeah. Looks like play the game from the opposition team. One of his ultimate abilities that wiped out most of our team. So that was a good play from them. So yeah, that was a good game, and we'll look forward here to the next one in just a minute.
Yeah, so one of the things I want to point out was, we did have some players shift roles. Sky King took tank, and Golden Shadow went to healer, and just really showed the versatility. Some, they're both really high end players, and can play multiple roles at a high level, which is not always the case. So, the unselfishness of the team to work together to find the best composition of their talents, really well done there. So.
Yeah, for sure.
What's our next game mode there, Caleb?
we are into the fourth game, so this is push. So this is similar to our second game, hybrid, but there's no control point. So it was game mode released alongside Overwatch 2. So there was a game before this just called Overwatch. This is the second iteration of that game. So two teams are fighting to escort a robot, kind of like they were escorting that little car in the second game, and then who pushes an objective onto the opposite or the enemy side of the map. And then each map has 2 checkpoints along the objective path. When a team escorts the robot past the first checkpoint, their spawn is moved up, and it's called forward spawn. If neither team reaches both checkpoints, the team that pushed their objective the furthest wins. And then overtime triggers if the team with less progress has possession of the robot when the time expires. So this is definitely a back and forth game if teams are even and plays are made right. So we'll see again, pressure is key. So we'll see if we hold pressure and don't succumb to it from the other team.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really impressed. Another even match today. Again, 2 high-ranked teams, so not surprised that the gameplay has been good. That it's been kind of back and forth and tight. Not what we would consider a roll, that's for sure. So again, really good. We'll see the opposition team will get to pick the map here because of the last round victory by the Bisons. But looks like they're going to New Queen Street, which is a map that the Bisons have played quite a bit, and looking forward to seeing how this moves forward. Bisons need to keep their composure and keep focused and play their game.
Yeah, I'm just hearing discussion again about the strategy, how we want to play the game, and if our first strategy doesn't work out, we'll switch some characters. And we'll see how well this works out. So the communication for us this week seems to be really working, and it looks like we're just taking a bit of a break here just to kind of get ourselves regrouped, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, that communication is really key. Like any other sports team, the players have to talk, but the difference is, they can't physically see or touch, right? So that communication becomes even more critical for these players to make sure that they know where each other are, what they're doing, what they're seeing, how they perceive the enemy coming towards them and the opposition team and how they manage that. So, that communication is really, really key and definitely a component that takes quite a bit of time to learn and master for sure.
Yeah. That I also want to do a shout out to our spares as well. Aquamarine and Skyfire are sitting here in the room, and me. I am a spare as well. We are here supporting the team, and even if we're not playing, we support them and learn from how they play, so we can possibly be starters next year. So we can't forget them. They are an important part of the team as well.
100%, very critical. And we've seen both, actually all 3 of you in game modes this season. And that is, we always look for an opportunity to get as much real game time as we can because, it's the idea is it's a program, right? That we got to look towards next year's team as well. So
yeah.
But hopefully the Bisons can be aggressive, have a good match here, and finish this game off. So
that looks like we have about 20 seconds left. This map spawn room is a curling club, which is quite representative of Canada and Saskatchewan, as it's our official sport right now. Just a side note, the World Women's Curling Championships are going on in Korea. Canada's doing quite well, sitting at 6-2, I believe. So keep an eye on that. But this is esports, so we'll get back to esports here. Looks like we are 20 seconds to gates opening, and then we'll be on our way to pushing the robot.
I can't picture you sneaking up on anyone.
I might just surprise you.
Looks like we're holding our roles from the previous game, as it seems to be working as our adaptation to their strategy. So we'll see if this continues to work or if some changes might need to be made once again.
The goddess is
And again, a relatively mobile comp. We do have one damage player that I would say is not very mobile, and that's the character that C Play Game is playing.
Yeah.
Just not as mobile as some of the other characters in the comp, but we'll see how this this plays out. Here we go.
Looks like we're down one DPS already. Dream and Bacon got picked, unfortunately, but we'll see if we can just see if we can hold. Looks like their opposition team is flanking, but that didn't quite work in their favor, and they were KO'd. So we'll see if we can just kind of hold around in this area until we have our 5 stack back, and then we'll get in to try and push the robot. Looks like the opposition is starting to push it, so we got to push back on them, and looks like this has worked in our favor. We pushed them out and are gonna push the robot now. We got to push it as far as we can in order to win this game.
Yep. Good job of the Bisons of kind of bending but not breaking, right?
Yeah,
fighting on their terms. Sure. Sometimes you have to give up a little bit of space to hold the territory that you want to hold. So you can see the Bisons closing in on the push that the opposition had and now taking the lead. So good job on the Bisons there, taking that lead. You can see the opposition taking that high ground and using it very effectively. So we'll see how the Bisons respond. So the opposition tank out of mech. That's a very positive for the Bisons.
Yep. Looks like we're down a couple players ourselves, though.
We're definitely down a couple of players, so we need to be careful.
Looks like they won
but
this
still in
fight,
control. Though. So yeah, still in control, which is really great.
Yep. So forward spawn
and you can see the Bisons streaming back. So
yep, forward spawn has now been activated, so it gives them a closer spawn advantage for sure.
So you can see the Bisons kind of backing off, and again, that they want to hold that space and time, but they want to fight on their terms, right? So
looks like they're pushing now. They got a couple picks, and I'm hearing calls for we push this. So that is exactly what they're doing, and they're applying the pressure quite thickly, and it's working out very, very well.
Oh, well done by the opposition tank there. Almost got caught, but turned it around on the Bison. So that was actually well done.
Yeah. They managed that well though. Again, the bending not breaking, staying calm under pressure, and they still won that fight despite being down a couple.
Yeah. No, the Bison's doing a really good job of staying flexible. Like you said, bending, not breaking, and managing what they're seeing. That was, things can go sideways when your strategy gets turned around in your face like that. But they did a good job of kind of turning it around again. So I love the resiliency that we're seeing today out of this Bison's team. They're problem solving and they're focusing. So
yeah, and you would have seen there that the time increased once they reached the first checkpoint. That's the same in hybrid as well. Once they reach the checkpoint, the time increases. So they now have 6 whole minutes to push it. So that gives them an advantage, but it also can feel like a long time if they're being held.
Well, and they are getting near the end here, so they could finish this match with
probably right now.
With time left to spare. So
for sure.
And now they're forcing the opposition to kind of stream out.
Yeah.
They don't have time to gather up as part of a team.
Really.
So we're really seeing the Bisons take advantage of that now as well. And that's it. Well done by the Bisons. Good win.
Yes.
And that's the game. That's 3-0. With the tie. Or no, I guess 3-1. 3-1 because the opposition did take that second game mode.
3-1 LCBI. Play the game from Dream and Bacon, our DPS player, playing Soldier. Looks like he got one pick there, 1 KO, and a second one, and almost low, but kind of backed out there, and looks like gets a third one as well. So that was a really good play.
That was excellent. That allowed them to keep pushing that robot. And the other team just couldn't get set. The Bisons bent but didn't break. So